Today I have the new ThruNite TH30 headlamp on my review table. This is a fairly slim profile headlamp that can also double as an EDC type light. It has an impressive 3,350 lumen turbo mode and is USB rechargeable here on the side of the head. It ships with a ThruNite IMR battery and head strap. Thanks to ThruNite for sending this to me to take a look at. Packaging is typical of what we're used to from ThruNite. It's simple but functional. Look through the sides here, not a whole lot to it. On the end here, you can see it's offered in cool and neutral white, and my example is in neutral white. Inside the box you get the manual, a thank you card. The light then holds in this holder here, and some of the accessories that it comes with are the USB cable for charging. You get an extra set of O-rings and USB flap door. You get a pocket clip here, which I'll go into more in a bit. And you get an extra strap mount for the headband. As I mentioned before, the light comes with a battery, and we'll look at that here in a minute. The TH30 itself is made from aircraft grade aluminum and is anodized in a pretty shiny black finish. The light comes into three basic pieces here. Starting at the tail cap, you can see here the bottom is flat, it's non-magnetic, and the knurling is full size. Inside, the spring is pretty wide and stout. The body tube here is what you'd expect out of a body tube. It's about as thin as possible. You have the silver end mounts to the light body itself. The black end mounts is where the cap's at, and it simply screws on here. The threads are acne cut, and while I've got it off here, here is the head, and you can see there the circuit board, and here is the battery the light ships with. As I was saying, it's a ThruNite IMR 3100 milliamp hour 18650 cell. This has a protection circuit on it, and it's button top. And I'm pretty certain this is a Sony VTC6. And you can even see the green of that wrapper there showing through. With the light reassembled here, I'll kind of show how the top pocket clip works. It's just a friction clip here. You push it on this back ring. And I'm not going to do it because it's kind of hard to get off, and I don't see using the clip that way on the light. But it can attach to the back, and it can attach to the front here. And when it attaches to the front here, it's just not a very deep carry. You can see there, you're going to stick the whole head of the light out. The head itself is fairly typical of a right angle light headlamp, but it's slimmed down as much as it's possible. You can see here, instead of being completely round, the sides have been milled off, and the heat sinking is all in the back. Not a ton of it, but sufficient. The USB charging port is here on the side, covered by a full-size flap. It fits on there pretty nice and doesn't get in the way. The only button on the light is the one on the top here, and you can see it's a textured button, and it's surrounded by this aluminum accent. It's kind of stylish and nice. That button does sit proud a little bit, so the light doesn't completely sit on its face. It has two LEDs underneath it. When the light's on, you get a blue LED, and when the power is low or you're charging, it turns red. And I'll go over the front of the light more when I talk about the emitter. Here are the head mount and strap, and hopefully you can see that all right. But it's a silicone rubber style mount. It is 3-strap variety, and it's fairly easy to adjust if you need to. It does say ThruNite on it. It's pretty simple, pretty plain, nothing fancy about it. There's no silicone strip on the inside here to help it hold on to a helmet or anything like that. When you mount the light on here, you just put the light through here, and you kind of got to stretch and push and pull. But it goes a little further than that, but you kind of get the idea of what it's like on the head mount. So I measured this light at 106 millimeters in length. The minimum diameter was 23.6 millimeters. Maximum diameter was 28.2 millimeters. And the weight of the light with the included cell and the head strap was 172.3 grams, and the light is IPX8 water rated. So just a little bit of comparison to a similar light. I've got an Armitech ELF C2 here, which is also a USB rechargeable light. And you can see lengthwise they're quite close, with the Armitech being just a hair lighter or hair longer, but it is magnetic. I do like that Armitech clip better. I'd use this for an EDC sometimes. Size of the heads, they're pretty similar. Top diameters, they're fairly similar as well. So if you like the size of the Armitech ELF C2, you'll like the size of the ThruNite TH30. One thing I didn't say about the construction here is that the diamond knurling pattern is a diamond pattern, pretty aggressive. It's a nice grip in the hand. You're definitely not going to drop it. This light uses a Cree XHP 70.2 LED in both cool white and neutral white. It's a pretty big emitter, as you can see there. My example here is in neutral white, which is my preference. And that LED is quite large, but nicely centered in the reflector. The lens is anti-reflective coating, and the reflector has a nice orange peel to it that you can kind of see there as I rotate it. It does a nice job of smoothing out the beam. The runtime on the included 3100 milliamp hour IMR battery totaled 110 minutes from turbo. When starting the light on high, the light really steps down after 5 minutes or so due to heat, and is only running at about 25% relative output, where it ran for the majority of that remaining time. Now this sounds like a huge drop off, and it is, but you got to remember this light starts out at 3350 lumens, so it's more than adequate light to work with and see for most tasks that you'd wear a headlamp for. I didn't see any differences when I ran with a cooled output with a fan for 20 minutes compared with an uncooled output, and this suggests it's a timed voltage decline, which is a little unfortunate. The step downs are pretty smooth, and the last 10 minutes of total runtime, the light will start flashing to let you know the battery's depleted and ready to shut down. I like that method, and I like it better than some other lights, because when you're wearing it, you can't see any LED indicators on the light itself. The heat is a bit of a concern with this light. On turbo, since it produces 3350 lumens, during my tests, the head here easily reached 120 degrees while on turbo within about 3 minutes. And this is hot, but it won't burn you, or at least it didn't burn me. When worn as a headlamp, the silicone rubber of the mount here does a good job of insulating your skin from the heat. The beam's mostly flood and quite smooth. The center is slightly hot, but it's nicely diffused thanks to that orange peel reflector. The light isn't really a thrower, but does a nice job due to that pretty high power out to probably 50 or 75 yards. Here are my night shots for the ThruNite TH30. And I've got it here on low. It's about 25 lumens if my memory is correct. And you can see here, it lights up the area pretty nicely. This light also has Firefly here, and it's half lumen, doesn't really show up on camera. Back to low, does a nice job. This would really be great for hiking, something like that. Bumping up one mode. You can see we start to throw a little bit better. You can start to see the end of my fence there pretty good. One more. Start seeing the neighbor's yard pretty good. And I believe this is top mode in the normal settings. We can see it throws pretty well. This is really a floodlight. It's a headlamp, remember, but again, I can see 50, 75 feet, yards in front of me, no problem. And if I go to turbo, this is maximum brightness. This is really a tremendous amount of light. It's blown out the camera some, no problem seeing anything around. And the last mode this light has is an SOS. So again, one more time, here is turbo. 3350 lumens. Just an amazing amount of light. All out of a little tiny headlamp. I mean, look at this thing. See that blue LED showing you runtime? Letting you know it's on. Included in the package is a 3100 milliamp hour ThruNite branded cell, button top 18650, and while not officially mentioned, given the performance characteristics, it's believed that this battery is a rewrapped Sony VTC6 with protection. And working voltage is 2.75 volts to 4.2 volts, so two CR123A batteries or 18350 batteries will not work in this light. Recharging is accomplished via this micro USB charge on the side of the light, on the head. I think this is a good position as it's out of the way, you don't feel it or anything like that. It's nice and tucked away, it doesn't get caught either. That USB cover is attached with a decent amount of material, so I don't think it's going to rip off easily as well, but they do include an extra in the package just in case. As I was mentioning before, underneath this black cover are two LEDs, and when you're recharging, it turns red to let you know the light's going, and when it's completed, it turns blue. I measured a maximum draw during charging at 1.5 amps, which matches ThruNite's claims. And from a full discharge to recharge, the light took 2 hours and 34 minutes. And the light also will come on in low mode when you are charging if you want it to, but only that one. So the UI on this light is really easy and linear. It comes on by default in low mode, which is 25 lumens, and you press and hold to cycle into the next mode. So this would be medium low at 130 lumens. This is medium at 352 lumens, high at 1275 lumens. SOS is the next mode at 645 lumens. At any time, if you want to go to turbo, just double click. That's 3350 lumens. And then it steps down to 1050 lumens after 1.5 minutes. And the light also does firefly if you hold it from off. As you can see there. This is half a lumen. And the light offers lockout mechanically, so you can just unscrew any of the sections just enough to break contact here, and the light shuts off. So for me, the pros of this light are it's available in neutral or cool white. The mode spacing I think is pretty nice, and it has a pretty simple UI, but I wish strobe wasn't part of that main group. And it's a very smooth, floody beam, not much noticeable tint rainbow. It includes a high-quality battery that is non-proprietary, and it has a 2-year free replacement warranty with limited lifetime warranty after that. The cons for me are the pocket clip is reversible but not very deep carry. I probably won't use this one as an EDC because of that. The button cover protrudes a little so the light won't stand on its head very well, but it stands on its tail just fine. And I wish this light had active thermal controls to allow it to ramp up brightness if conditions were correct. My conclusion is the following. If you followed any of my reviews for a while, you'll know that I'm a huge fan of headlamps. For me, it's probably in the top 3 lights that everyone should own. The ThruNite TH30 is a very nice high lumen headlamp option. Understandably, turbo doesn't last too long due to the immense amount of heat that 3350 lumens creates, but the lower modes are sufficient for really most headlamp tasks. I really like that this headlamp uses a non-proprietary battery, which makes getting extras or replacements easy and less expensive than some other brands. I like that this light comes with an excellent and safe battery as well. I think that this extra layer of safety you gain by using a protected cell is a good idea when using such a high-powered light on your head. I think it's safe to say this is my favorite headlamp of 2018 so far. As always, I'll have a link below in the description to where you can check out this light and purchase one for yourself. If you've picked one up, let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to hear it, what you think. Thanks for watching my video. I appreciate a like and subscribe as it helps me continue to bring videos like this to you soon.